And then on the side, I was also spending time with the Navy SEALs at the gun range.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 actors who did advanced weapons training.
Really show you how to handle a gun so you don't fear it.
For this list, we'll be looking at actors who went through extensive training with weapons in order to make their action scenes seem natural. Which actors impressed you with their well-trained moves? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, Sigourney Weaver, Aliens. When Weaver started working on this sci-fi blockbuster, she struggled with the huge amount of weaponry involved. After all, the actress was a member of a gun control lobby. Why was she surprised that a movie with space marines fighting killer aliens had so many guns? Weaver confesses that she didn't pay close enough attention to the script's stage directions. She was misled by terms like pulse gun and smart gun. However, for the film, she had to endure daily practice with guns and grenades.
What's this?
That's a grenade launcher. I don't think you want to mess with that.
You started this. Show me everything. I can handle myself.
Although the actress professed to hate guns, she ultimately enjoyed the feeling of using high-powered weaponry for the film. She said this only confirmed her belief in the need for gun control. Number 19, Ray Stevenson, Punisher Warzone. The Punisher is a vigilante who fights crime and corruption in Marvel Comics, films, and television series. Ray Stevenson stepped into this 2008 reboot as the third actor to take on the role in a film. In order to believably play former Force Recon Marine Frank Castle, Stevenson went through extensive training with actual Marines. They worked on weapons awareness, how to clear a room, and dealing with multiple opponents.
We're going through weapons awareness and some of the military practices, room clearances, multiple opponent situations, changing weapons, familiarity with placement and movement through a space.
The Northern Irish actor described it as the most vigorous training he'd ever been involved in. These skills directly translated into his work on the film and helped him create a fan-favorite version of the character. Number 18, the entire cast, Fury. Set during World War II, this film follows the crew assigned to an M4 Sherman tank nicknamed Fury. The team was part of the final push into Nazi Germany and faced a series of difficult obstacles.
All tanks, War Daddy. When we hit open ground, line up on me. Keep your spacing, don't bunch up. On my signal, we'll drop the doze and roll up that 75.
The director, David Ayer, required the actors to undergo extensive training in order to portray a believable tank crew. They worked for over 4 months before filming, including a boot camp run by Navy SEALs. Logan Lerman, who played the rookie member of the team, described the experience as difficult and humbling.
We had about a good 4 to 5 months before filming where we just prepped and did a lot of crazy stuff, but boot camp was by far the hardest thing that we had to do.
However, he believed that the extensive training really helped the cast bond together. Number 17, Jennifer Garner, Peppermint. Jennifer Garner is no stranger to action sequences. She kicked and punched her way to fame playing the spy Sydney Bristow on the TV series Alias. However, Garner took an 11-year break from action films after her role as an FBI agent in The Kingdom. What brought her back? She couldn't resist the chance to play a strong mother fighting to avenge her family. To prepare for her role as a vigilante, Garner trained with Navy SEALs on the gun range.
So I had a base understanding of how to use a weapon, how to change a mag, but still for the fluidity of it, and it had been a long time, I just needed to get back out there and do a lot of work.
Although the actress had a lot of previous experience with weapons, she felt the training was vital. Only through extensive practice could she achieve an easy use of the weapons that would seem truly believable. Number 16, Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx, Miami Vice. To achieve convincing portrayals of undercover MDPD detectives, the Miami Vice actors needed to be completely confident in the use of each weapon. Lead actors Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx worked daily on the shooting range for months. Miami-Dade police also taught them how to work through realistic scenarios involving drug trafficking operations.
We got the chance to work with snipers and jarheads. We got a chance to work with Miami-Dade police in this and really show you how to handle a gun so you don't fear it. You know, when you see a gun, you're not freaked out about it.
Farrell was actually taken on a fake drug bust to help him get an idea of what it would be like to be a part of a real Vice team. The Irish actor confessed in an interview that this was a very traumatic experience because he actually thought it was all real. Number 15, CARY ELWES, The Princess Bride. Would you feel intimidated if a script described your character as the greatest sword fighter of all time? CARY ELWES admits that he was a little worried. However, director Rob Reiner assured him he was in good hands. He was going to be trained by the duo responsible for the lightsaber battles in the first 3 Star Wars films. Elwes trained every day, even while filming, and eventually performed the fight scene a little too well.
We trained every day, even while we were shooting, between takes. Either Bob or Peter were off camera with a whole bunch of swords in their hands, and the minute that Rob yelled cut, they would grab us.
Rob Reiner said they'd gotten so good, the whole thing was too short, and they'd need to add more. Ultimately, the final fight was so well done that fencing academies have used it to train their students. Number 4, Chloe Grace Moretz, Kick-Ass. At 12 years old, Chloe Grace Moretz enthusiastically took to her role as ruthless vigilante hit girl.
Wait.
What?
Who are you?
Me? I'm Hit Girl.
At first, she started her own physical training at home. Then, when she arrived on the set, the real work began. She was taught how to use a knife and gun, as well as martial arts, tumbling, and tactical moves.
First, I just did physical training and the gun training. And then when I came up to Toronto and then here, I started the real stuff. And I was like, that's why they trained me so hard, so I could keep doing every take the same thing without wearing my body out.
Her mother summed it up as everything you would need to know to be a young assassin. Moretz impressed the adults on the set with her ability to learn quickly. Her expertise in film challenged them all to up their game. Clearly, the training stuck with her, as she was able to show off her knife skills years later during an interview with Conan O'Brien.
And you're supposed to have more than one.
Right.
But
I'm comfortable with you having just one.
Number 13, Mark Wahlberg, Lone Survivor. This biographical war film was based on a book by former Navy SEAL Marcus Luttrell. It dramatizes his experiences as a member of a team sent to capture a Taliban leader during the war in Afghanistan.
Super freak, that's Rick James, bitch.
You make that shot?
Negative. We don't have authority anyway.
To achieve the truest portrayal possible, Peter Berg had the actors train with former Navy SEALs. They needed to learn the names of the weapons, do blind mag changes, and understand movement and tactics. They were trained to move, shoot, and communicate in a way that was tactically believable.
The training was intense. I mean, by the time you finished the training, you felt like you'd shot a big portion of the movie, but we'd never rolled cameras.
Wahlberg, who played Luttrell in the film, was able to consult with the former SEAL on set, which helped him create a detailed performance. Number 12, Will Smith, Suicide Squad. Although Will Smith has handled guns in many roles throughout his career, this character required expert marksmanship.
Pleasure doing business with you, Angie.
In this DCEU superhero film, Deadshot kills with precision and can use a wide variety of weapons. These traits inspired Smith to train in such a way that his shooting looked effortless. He spent hours at the gun range with Navy SEALs and Army Rangers. They worked with him on both the Glock 9mm handgun and an AR-15 assault rifle.
It was a great communal space, and we sort of bonded and connected around, we all wanted to create something spectacular.
Yeah. The fight choreographer knew that Smith had trained as a boxer for the film Ali. To take advantage of that muscle memory, he incorporated punching movements into Deadshot's weapons choreography. This resulted in Smith's portrayal of a vigilante with a believable and unique style. Number 11, Entire Cast, Black Hawk Down. In 1993, a US military raid on Mogadishu resulted in a Black Hawk helicopter going down in enemy territory. This film was inspired by the band of Rangers and Delta Force operators who had to work together to complete their mission.
All right, listen up. We're gonna hold the perimeter, and we're gonna hold the strong point. Conserve your ammo. Only shoot at what you can hit.
The actors who played the film's Rangers took a 1-week course at Fort Benning. Those playing Delta Force had an intense 2-week commando lesson at Fort Bragg. All of these actors were given first-hand weapons experience and tactical training.
The actors aren't Rangers, and we realized that after about day one, but they did a great job. They came together as a team towards the end there and maintained their motivation. We threw some things at them that were physically and mentally demanding, and they did a great job.
Some of the trainees even got up close and personal with live explosives. After this brief exposure to life as a soldier, the actors professed a deep respect for the true military personnel. Number 10, Robert De Niro, Heat.
There's no question that Robert De Niro is one of the greats.
He's one of those actors that just brings everything he can to a role to make it as believable as possible.
You would figure that his role as Neil McCauley, a professional thief, wouldn't exactly require advanced weapons training. However, De Niro and the rest of the cast trained with a British ex-Special Air Service Special Forces sergeant by the name of Andy McNabb, who personally designed a 3-month weapons training program involving live ammunition. Andy also helped them train for the bank robbery scene.
Number 9, Chris Pratt, Zero Dark 30.
I forgot. Were we supposed to crash that helo?
Before he was flying around the universe blasting aliens and tossing out killer dance moves, Chris Pratt had to become a Navy SEAL for Zero Dark 30.
I made some pretty good friends with guys who were trainers down down in Coronado, and I went through their O course.
The film, which centered around the hunt and eventually killing of Osama bin Laden, had the cast take part in military-like training. They had to live, eat, and put up with one another for 6 weeks while they prepared. They even had access to a replica of bin Laden's compound, which makes an appearance in the climax of the film, so they could put all of their training to the test under the scrutiny of their instructors.
It's kind of like playing Army, except for they're filming it for a movie that is going to recount one of the historic war achievements in this century.
Number 8, Uma Thurman, Kill Bill.
Training with a weapons expert to learn how to fire a rifle is one thing, but that certainly can't compare to what Uma Thurman went through for her transformation into the bride from Tarantino's Kill Bill series. The character on screen is supposed to be a master assassin who knows how to swing a sword around. To accurately portray that, Uma Thurman had to learn 3 styles of kung fu and 2 styles of sword combat, as well as throwing and fighting with knives. And if that wasn't enough, she also had to learn Japanese, which is no easy task.
Number 7, Demi Moore, G.I. Jane.
You're not getting anything out of me. When it comes to movies that are focused on the military, the characters are usually all gritty guys who form a strong brotherhood with each other. It's rare that we get one where the main character is a woman, and specifically what they face when they take part in the brutality that is boot camp. In this action flick, Demi Moore showed us that she's no slacker when it comes to training, as she was down in the mud doing push-ups with the rest of the cast during their 2-week boot camp. Not only did she and the supporting cast have to pass physical tests, but the subsequent training obviously included weapons training. It wasn't easy, but she held in like a champ.
You do get to the point sometimes where you just say, can I do any more of this? But you know to reach that goal, you have to dig deeper.
Number 6, Charlize Theron, Atomic Blonde.
2017's Atomic Blonde took us into the world of Lorraine Broughton, a top-level MI6 spy played by a very fit Charlize Theron. She worked with several personal trainers who trained her as hard as they possibly could in everything from hand-to-hand combat to handguns, all while she got her body in tip-top shape. The training was so intense that she apparently bruised a rib and broke a few of her teeth while sparring. Interestingly enough, she actually sparred at the same facility that Keanu Reeves was getting into shape at every now and then, as training for both Atomic Blonde and John Wick Chapter 2 overlapped with each other.
Because he's a really good friend of mine, it was good to have him there because it's so hard to train on this level of 4 or 5 hours.
Number 5, Tom Cruise, Collateral.
There's one thing that you can't help admire Tom Cruise for, and that's his dedication to his craft. He's an actor that's known for doing many of his own stunts, and generally gives it his all. It's no surprise that when he took on the role of Vincent, the professional killer in Collateral, he brushed up on his weapons training as well. You can see his training pay off during the alley scene where Vincent takes on a couple of thugs, using a signature technique that's actually taught in tactical handgun training classes today. Number 4. Michelle Rodriguez, The Fate of the Furious.
Let's roll!
Ah, the Fast and the Furious series. Known for its high-speed races, beautiful cars, and guns, the franchise has changed much since its first release. And this is reflected in one of the main actresses, Michelle Rodriguez, who trained at a gun range with THERON Tactical Innovations, specifically for her role in the 8th film. This isn't her first time with weapons, however. As you might recall, she had a role in 2003's SWAT, which required the cast to work with an actual SWAT team, as well as have tactics and live fire training. She's definitely not someone you would want to mess with.
Get out of here! Go!
Number 3. Linda Hamilton, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. The Terminator series hasn't exactly been hitting it out of the park with its more recent films, but Terminator 2 is still one of the best action movies ever made. Fans of the franchise will remember the dramatic change of Sarah Connor's attitude, from being a sweet little waitress in the first film to a total badass in the second. This is largely thanks to Linda Hamilton, who wanted to play a crazier role. How dedicated was she to this change? Well, she went into advanced weapons training with an ex-Israeli Special Forces soldier a mere 2 weeks after giving birth to her child.
Ready? Go.
Number 2. Bradley Cooper, American Sniper. American Sniper not only gave us an emotionally gripping story of the decorated Navy SEAL vet Chris Kyle, but also a beast mode Bradley Cooper. You have to be at your very best when training to become a Navy SEAL, and Cooper certainly didn't slack for this role, as he put on about 40 pounds of muscle to try and match Kyle's physique. Cooper also had to become a sniper, despite never firing a rifle in his entire life. Thanks to his rigid training with one of Kyle's close friends, Kevin Leese, he was able to pull it off in the end.
Can't see shit, so take it slow and move through your target.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Keanu Reeves, The Matrix franchise, and the John Wick franchise.
Okay, so what do you need besides a miracle?
Guns. Lots of guns.
Keanu Reeves is one of the finest performers out there right now when it comes to the action genre. For starters, he and the rest of the crew had martial arts training in a warehouse for 4 months prior to the filming of the first Matrix movie. And that's just the beginning. Even today, we can see just how dedicated he is to training. In preparation for the John Wick films, Keanu regularly pumped out rounds with THERON Tactical Innovations, in the signature style that his character is known for. Videos of his intense training have since gone viral. He is without a doubt an amazing actor.
What do you need? Guns. Lots of guns.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.